quite looking forward to getting going, but the rain is just starting to come. Very, very grey over in the back there. It's river crossing time. Hey, this is where we all fall on our butts. Also getting this real good sweeping bend. You've got this lovely arc in the bottom of the image. Almost positive the path is going to take us up the top and over the top of that lot there. So we're at our location now for meeting our guide to take us down to Drangarnir, which is down that way. I think it's about a 4-mile walk. So we're all together. There's another 4 people turning up as well today. Not sure who they are. They're all part of the actual official group walk. Helga was our guide the first time we come over here. I've just had a message. She was just saying hello and hope we enjoy today. And I don't actually know who it is that's going to be taking us. We are literally just waiting, and then we're going to head off that way and we'll go and do a bit of photography at the prime location that everyone wants to shoot. Well, guess what? We are driving. I know I said we were at our location ready to get our guide, but Helga just sent me a message and said the walk's from 11 o'clock, not 10 o'clock. So I brought the crew round to the other side of the, I'm going to call it a fjord again, so we can get some pictures looking at Drangarnir with some grass top roofs, basically over the top of Helga's house really, but don't tell her we're there. And then we'll drive back, so we've got an hour to play with, so yeah. So I've just been speaking to this lovely French couple that are just jumping in their van. They brought their own van over here. Amazing, it's a lovely looking van as well. But yeah, this is what we're here to shoot. Oh, and by the way, hello if you're watching. Yeah, this is what we come over to shoot, these grassy topped houses with Drangarnir, which is over there in the distance. That's where we're actually heading. So the walk is going to be right down the end, and we're going to walk all the way along this coastline, right along the edge and up and over the far end part, and get to the famous sort of archway is what we see. But yeah, this is nice, this is pretty. Some little grass top houses just to get us in the mood. So let's get this shot done, and I'll speak to you when we're actually on the walk, because you don't need to know all this rubbish. Right, so the group is starting to get here now. We've got a really big, actually our guide, I'll go and catch his name in a minute. We've got a really big team. There's about 19, 20 people on this walk, so it's going to be pretty interesting. It'd be nice to get to talk to other people as well and stuff like that, so quite looking forward to getting going. But the rain is just starting to come. Very, very grey over in the back there, and it's going to be a waterproof day for sure. So we are now on our mission. You can see behind, we've got some of the lads are behind. We've also got a crew up in front making their way. This is a big group. The guide has basically told us, you know, we all keep together, he keeps the pace, and we make sure we stay on the trails and we don't walk off and wander off on our own. And it could get a bit slippy if it's wet, which it is, so it might make for an interesting walk. But yeah, I can't wait to get down there, see what sort of atmospheric images we can get. We might not get a lot of time, because with 20 people or 22 people around, we may not get a lot of time for photography. It's obviously their walk as much as ours. So we'll see how we fare and we'll see how we get on, but I'll definitely get something that's worth putting up on the screen. I'm almost positive. So we're just making our way along the edge of the coast now. You can't really see this path from the other side at all. It's quite a hidden pathway. I remember last time we come, we said, you know, how can you actually make your way along? And they said there is actually a footpath. It is quite hidden from the side. Pretty flat, quite an easy walk. You do have to have a guide, so don't try and do this without. We are about probably a quarter of the way, I think, from what I remember. We haven't got to the hill yet. The hill's when it starts to get a bit more interesting. I've just been told as well, we just told us a little bit of history and story. This white cairn that we're just about to pass is where a plane crashed many moons ago, and obviously the people lost their lives. There's a lot of turbulence down here, but that's what this cairn's for, that we're just coming past now. So we're at the beach, we've come to the seaside. We're now walking along the shoreline. And I remember walking along here last time looking for fossils, and apparently they don't have any over here. They don't have fossils, they don't have dinosaur remains and things like that, which I find extremely weird. I assume they were probably all over, everywhere, but obviously not. Just our guide as well, and again, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. he's quite good. He's done geology and stuff, so he knows a little bit about the rocks and formations. He knows quite a bit about the island. He's just told us a little bit of a story about when they used to pull in the whales for oil back in the day. There's a bit of remnants of an old wheel left on the shoreline for it, which I'll put a phone snap up for you so you can have a quick look at. And yeah, then he was talking about the different rock and the strength of the rock, for want of a better word, how porous and how safe it is. Just when they're digging the tunnels, what they're looking for and how they dig the tunnels to make sure it's safe and doesn't collapse afterwards. So yeah, pretty cool. So I don't know if you can see just out off the shore there, we've got all these salmon fishing. Now salmon over here is big money. These things cost millions of Danish kroner to get, and these are for the small fish. So the small salmon are in there to stop the sea mites, and then once they're growing a bit bigger and a bit more hardy, they move them out offshore a little bit further. And we came past some earlier on and you could actually see them jumping out of the water, so if I can get them on the way back, I'll do so. Nice little stream to cross, making our way across the little river. Wouldn't have wanted to do that yesterday when it was probably in full of flood. Again, you need a little bit of fitness by. It's a long walk, and it's going to be taking us about 4 to 5 hours today apparently as well, so we'll be needing a hot dog on the way back. So it's river crossing time. Hey, this is where we all fall down bots and get slippy over on the rocks where everyone's nearly going. So I have to be careful where I'm putting my feet, so put the camera down maybe, or just take it very carefully. Got warmed up now. Definitely got a bit of a sweat on. We're just coming over the top of the hill, and I'm just going to spin you around. This is what people are coming for, this view, and it's absolutely spectacular. So I expect we'll have 5 minutes here, get the camera on a tripod, get a shot, and then we'll start to work out where he's going and what he's doing. So we're now making our way along. We had a quick 5-minute photo session. Pictures are going to come up on the screen for you, but nothing special, nothing like the last time I was here. Again, I can put one up in a bit of a comparison to what it looks like in different light. We haven't got any light at all. It's very grey, very flat, but there is a little bit of reflected bouncing light, sort of just hitting the tops of the flat tops. And we've got some really nice low cloud. Oh, I can just see the lighthouse. Let's spin you around, have a look at that. You can just see the little lighthouse down in this bottom corner, which will make a nice little shot, but I'm certainly not going to stop and take it. This is a different walk, a much different walk than the last one I was on. So yeah, I'm just trying to gauge where the best place to be is. Actually, I might try and get a shot of this lighthouse just where I am with some rocks in it, so I'll bear with. So whilst walking along this pathway now, I'm trying to sort of scope myself a few sort of foreground bits of interest, because it's quite a wide shot to get all the islands in. You're taking a large section of water on the right hand side of the image, which is a bit of dead space. So trying to find a few rocks in the bottom foreground just to give you a bit of interest. Just seems to add that little bit of something to, so it's not so plain grassy, sort of watery sort of thing. We are a long way off. It gets better the closer you get. Far better. So as much as this is an okay walk and not too bad underfoot, like I say, you do need a little bit of air of fitness towards you, and you also need to be having your wits about you, because just look at this pathway. If I spin you around, you can see the guys walking towards us now, and you've got this pretty sheer drop that drops off straight beside you. You can see where my feet are, and they're right on the edge of the hillside, even though it's a small given sort of like sheep track path. So you do have to have a bit of something with you. You can't just walk this if you don't like heights and you don't like narrow paths. Again, if you look over my shoulder, in that far distance there, you can see Gossadulla waterfall, which is where we started off when we first got off the plane. Went over there to get a few shots, and it looks like there's plenty of water coming over it today. It might even be worth a little bit of a visit on the way back as well, maybe before we get back on the plane. I've got lots more things to do on the itinerary yet, so we don't really want to waste any more time over there unless we get the extra spare time to do it. So we've come in on a very different path. We've come along the shoreline really, so we've come in on a very much lower path, because I remember coming over those rocks behind, so I think that's the path we're going to go back on. So we're going to be climbing up the nasty slope that I thought we were going to come down, because it's really steep, and yeah, you'd end up sliding down it on your bottom in wet weather. So it looks like we're starting at the bottom and working our way up. Not so much fun, but it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. It's a good route, it's a good walk in, and we will be walking back. No boat trip today, definitely a walk. So what is it, 4 or 5 miles in, 4 or 5 miles back. That should do the fitness level. I'm definitely warm though in this waterproof, way too warm. We're not far now, only another few hundred feet, a few hundred meters, and we'll be on the prime location for the big classic selfie spot. So it's time to hit the tripod. Camera's coming out, set it out properly, and start concentrating on a couple of decent photographs with some real moody light. I think that's definitely the answer. Look at going on over there. All that low cloud wrapping itself around the top of the mountain over there. Absolutely stunning. I like that. That's just what I come for. So I started off with the 18-55 on, and it's just way not wide enough to get what I want to get in. I've gone for something really wide, so I'm out at 11-12 mil. And I'm pushing the scope rightly wide because I want to get those mountains in the background in it, because they've got so much going on in the background. It's very dramatic. The low-lying clouds are really adding to what's going on here, so it's adding that drama to the image. And we're also getting this real good sweeping bend. You've got this lovely arc in the bottom of the image, which is flowing you out and flowing you around and pointing you out towards those mountains. And of course Drangarnir, the classic mountain with the arches, which is sitting on the rule of thirds really, and giving you that fixed interest, which is the main part of the image, which is holding you in on the dead area. And the only thing you have to contend with is, because there's a large amount of people, there's 20 odd people here, we're going to get people in the images. So what we're going to do now is take several images, and then when those people move, we can then blend them in and actually clone them out, and we don't actually see the people in the images. Plonked on a polarizer to see what it would make, see if it would make any difference. Now I like the brightness of the water because it's giving you that really harsh contrast between the two. But I'm going to take one as well with the polarizer on because it's really darkening down the water, and I think that could add to a little bit of atmosphere. The only problem is it's making everything look dark and the sky sort of bleaching out a little bit, so I've got to drop my exposure now to compensate for that. I'm still bracketing the image. You know me, I always take 2 over and 2 under just to make sure I've got all that information so I can set it up in post-processing and get all the details, from shadow detail to the highlights. So we've come down a little bit lower now, come down off the rocks. We were up on the top there, and we've just come down this sort of slope behind us, which is quite a slope, to be honest. It's really quite hard on your feet. It really does pull your toes to the front of your boots. But we are a lot closer now to the bottom of Drangarnir and to the actual water itself. And I put a 10 stop on to give a bit of a smoothed out water effect. I don't know whether I'm going to like it or not. You know what I'm like, I don't do a lot of long exposures, but if I don't do one and go back and forget not to do it. So yeah, I'll have a look and see what it looks like. But I do like the atmosphere in the sky. I do like that dramatic feel to the image. And the water's very deep, very dark. So I don't know, it's not quite floating my boat like it did last time. I think because there's a lot of people here, very difficult to get yourself in a position, a very different atmosphere. The people aren't sort of connecting as a group because it's 20 people, they're all doing their own little thing. So yeah, not quite doing it for me. All my guys are all enjoying themselves, all getting their shots, and they're all just milling around, just taking photographs everywhere, and I'm just every so often keeping an eye on making sure they're happy, and they are, so that's good. It's a win-win situation. As long as they're happy, it doesn't matter what I end up doing. I've come up a lot higher. You can see I've changed my gear now. I've put my better walking stuff on. That raincoat was making me so sweaty. You can see this big sweeping bend down here. Now it does actually look like there's a fisherman or something down in the bottom of the water down there. I hope it's not a ride home, because I'm halfway up the top. But this is so steep. It's really hard to tell how steep this is by where I'm standing. But maybe if I sort of slope it like this is the actual gradient. It's really steep. You can see by my sticks that are straight, that are prompt up there, how steep this slope is. But yeah, I've got really good shots from here. I've gone a panoramic. Let me show you how I've tried to shoot it. So I've shot from here and I've swept it right round, and sort of all the way bringing this in as well. So this is the pano, if you imagine, all the way across. So it's going to be quite a big panel. I'm getting all that dramatic stuff going on in the background now. I've got all this dramatic stuff going on here. I've got this lovely snaking, sweeping bit coming on down here, and of course you can't see through the arch of Drangarnir, but you know, you can't win them all. I mean, I do like the separation. I like the way that you can see these islands that all go out, and I like the background as well. So this is a really nice shot from up this end. I think probably we'll be heading back in a little while. The path, I'm almost positive the path is going to take us up the top and over the top of that lot there, which is where we came in the first time. Now I do know that somewhere right up the top there is a cave, and one day I will take you to that cave, hopefully before everyone else does. It's a bit of a rarity. Not everyone gets to go up there, but there is a cave looking out, and you can get Drangarnir actually in the cave mouth, which would be absolutely awesome. But yeah, fantastic, absolutely amazing place. Amazing place. It takes your breath away in any condition. Like I say, I'm struggling because there's so many people, and obviously there's time constraints and all that sort of stuff. Now there are some people getting on a boat down there, and that's really cheeky because we've got to walk back, and some of them are getting on a boat, which I assume they've paid extra for. But that's a bit naughty because some of us could have got on that boat as well, especially Dave and his wife, because they've had to hang around up on the high level because his wife couldn't quite make it all the way down here. So if we'd have known that, they could have made their way down and jumped on that boat. So that's a real shame we didn't know that. But yeah, amazing. I'll check out on the way back, and yeah, but this is the walk, this is the hike, this is what we do, this is what we've done to get to Drangarnir. It's well worth it. If you want to come, you can always check out my website. You can always go and give me a comment and drop me a line. And if you do want to come on one of these excursions that I'm going to do, I'm going to try and do them once a year if I can. 2024 is already booked up. If I get enough people want to come next September, I'll put another one on next September, or October should I say, 2024 October. If I can get enough people that want to do it, I'll come and do another 4-day trip over here. So it's up to you guys. If you want to come, let me know and I'll book it and sort it and organise all the transportation, or the accommodation, or the food, everything. I'll sort all that out for you, even hiring and sorting out these tours and walks and everything else. I'll do all the work. All you got to do is just let me know you want to come. So the path back up is the only way up. This is the path I came in last time, so it's a very different path. It's a lot muddier, probably better going up rather than down, and it almost feels like you're a little bit more on the edge as well, because you can see it's a long way down, but you get a good view from up here. So once we get to the top, I expect we'll stop and take another picture, get that lovely sweeping bend of the fjord leading you through to Drangarnir in the distance, and those lovely dark, deep, moody clouds. And that should probably be my final image of this video. So when I'm out of breath, I'll talk to you in a bit. So as you can see from here now, we're just taking a bit of a respite on the top of the hill. We just made our way to the top and gone to the rocky bit. This is starting to get a little bit of wind coming over, and we've got some weather coming in as well, so we might get wet before we get back. But look at the view going back down there. Absolutely amazing view going back down there. You get so much higher in elevation looking down. And you've got Mykonos, the far one, I think it is, the island out there, and you can see that now. And I've just taken a vertical image, and what I've done is I've used these rocks down here in the foreground. We are about 3/4 of the way back now, back on the edge of the fjord, on the easy section really. Legs are weary, I'm not going to lie. We've done a good bit of walking. It's not been flat, it's not exactly the easiest terrain to walk on, and you have to be careful of the little slippy bits, but it's generally okay. I've done about 15,000 steps so far, so I'm sure someone can work that out, what we've done today. So we will be doing something this evening. I'm not sure what or where yet, so that'll probably be a part 3 I think we're on, so that'll be another video. So that's the hike to and from Drangarnir. Again, you can't do this without a guide. You do have to have a guide. I will be putting the links in the description for the guide, for booking them. If you come with me, if you do come on one of my trips, one of my weekends away, or whatever you want to call them, I'll organise it all for you, so that's not a problem. But if you are coming over here and you're visiting over here and you're watching this video because you're looking for information, you do need a guide to do the Drangarnir walk. It's a good long walk, but it's accessible to most. It's done about 15,000 steps, but I'm looking forward to some coffee and cake, or even a hot dog. The in thing for me over here is hot dogs, so I think I'm going to find myself a petrol station and go and get myself a hot dog. I thought I'd just report in and say we are home, well not home safe, but we're back safe. We're back on terra firma, back in the car park. We've said goodbye to our guide now, and I'm definitely checking out. And this little couple here, they got a little YouTube channel as well. But she doesn't talk on her YouTube channel, she does a little bit of video. So do you want to tell us who you are so that people can find you?
My name's Donna and this is Elliot. On YouTube we're just Donna and Elliot's Adventures.
Donna and Elliot's Adventures. There you go. Please check them out. Right. I am done. I'm going to tell you how many steps I've done. Wait, bear with me. 17,500 steps. That'll do. I definitely deserve cake and coffee and a few biscuits and maybe a bit more cake. Don't know what we're doing this evening. I'm not just going to sit down on my buttocks. I've got an idea, I know where I'm going to take them. So check out the next video because there will be a part 3. And that's it, I'm done. Like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, all the usual stuff. And yeah, till next time, ciao for now, ta-da.